Greetings! Welcome to my proposal to you, Toastmasters International, from me, Laura Crockett, Distinguished Toastmaster. This is an HPL project. The purpose of this project is to convince you that you need, or we need, a new path. A path that distinguishes the difference between speaking in front of an audience and speaking in front of a camera. I call this path the multimedia communicator, and it covers all those skills that a person needs to give a speech in front of a camera, using Zoom, podcasting, or just plain streaming video. My own work experience has given me these skills. I am a producer, I write scripts for documentaries, I am a storyteller, a voice and speech teacher, and for fun, I hang out with Toastmasters. My team members on this project are Linda Folsom, producer, and Saida Pagan, journalist. They're a wonderful team. My own Toastmasters journey began decades ago when I lived in New Jersey and joined Princeton Toastmasters. Returning to California, I now belong to Toastmasters for Writers and Downtown Toastmasters. In 2012, I received my first DTM. I guess I'm on my way to the second DTM. What you will see first is part one of my opening speech, which I gave when I announced my HPL project. The second part is a review of the multimedia communicator and what that path looks like. Enjoy! For billions of people, the winter of 2020 brought huge changes. Businesses closed down. People were sent home on furlough or they worked from home. Their children worked alongside them, studying their lessons on the computer. Unless you had COVID or were dying from a heart attack, no doctor wanted to see you. We call that the lockdown. The thing is, whenever human beings are faced with draconian events, they find creative ways around them. In this era, in the winter of 2020, it was no different. People began to do things online, and they thought this was a new technology. Not so. In the old days, we called them teleconferences. Since those days, the world of the teleconferences has advanced. We now have real-time platforms available for meetings, all on the computer with no extra cameras or microphones needed. During the lockdown, an invitation to teach landed in my email box. Of course, this would be teaching online. Since I already was a veteran with a YouTube channel and a Vimeo channel, I thought, sure, I can do this. I can work with a camera and a microphone. For the first time in my professional life, children and adults all over the globe were demanding my services as a historian. I dealt with it as best as I could. That experience brought me out of retirement. As I worked with my global student body, I noticed that many of the students were uncomfortable. I mean, all of a sudden, they found themselves in front of a camera and having to use a microphone. I noticed the same issue when I went onto my online Toastmasters meetings. I could see that people needed a bit of training. This is especially so during the speech contests. They were a disaster. Say, isn't that what Toastmasters is supposed to be doing? To teach us to be effective speakers and leaders? Don't you think it's time they sort of broaden the horizons a bit? I mean, how do you talk about body language when you only see the body from the neck up? Toastmasters, there needs to be a new path. That's why I'm here today, to talk to you about a new path. I suggest calling this new path the Multimedia Communicator. It's going to be all about the technology. It's going to be all about getting Toastmasters trained in this technology, which develops faster than Superman can fly, so that they too can become global. Welcome to the Multimedia Communicator, a proposal for Toastmasters International to create a new path focused exclusively on recorded material. What does the Multimedia Communicator path look like? Looks like all the rest of the paths, levels 1 through 5, with the exception that everything gets recorded. Even the scripts that you write, those eventually get recorded. I'm going to speak to you like you were a Toastmaster interested in this path. So let's look at level 1. What do we do there? Well, this is all about fundamental. Of course, you will either videotape or podcast your icebreaker, and you will want to hang on to that to review it later on to see how you have improved. Level 2. This is about where you get a little self-conscious about yourself because you need to look at yourself from the camera's point of view. In fact, developing that eye for the camera, because that out there is where your audience is. They're not on your screen. They're not in the room. Well, the exception is when you record a live speech, then you have to pay attention to the people in the room. But solely a video, they're there. Podcasting, you need to focus on your voice because they can't see you. Your audience cannot see you. Good time to hire on a voice and speech coach because you want an interesting, engaging voice and flawless diction. Moving on, level 3. This is where we learn stuff because you're going to have many projects to choose from. This is where you put your hands on things, where you write that script or fine-tune a script that focuses on visuals. And you will want to learn how to create effective visuals. Maybe it's a good time to take a class in PowerPoint or Keynote. There's also the podcast, of course. This is where you concentrate on your voice and you develop a critical ear. So it's rather a tightrope that you're walking in this path or level 3. And all of these projects, do them all. Don't do just a couple, do them all. Level 4. Now you know a few things. So now is the time to actually build those skills. Of course, we have our electives to choose from. Again, I would encourage you, do more than 2 or repeat old ones like your icebreaker. Give your icebreaker again, record it again to have a benchmark for yourself. Look how much I've improved. Level 5. This is where you got all your big guns lined up and you are ready to fire, ready to use all the information that you've accumulated during the process you've been on with this path. Your high performance leadership, I call high performance production. Do something big and ambitious for that. What about a community project? Maybe there's a cause that you support and that nonprofit could use a marketing video. What about that? There's all sorts of ideas that you could put into play on level 5. Of course, you have questions. Ask them. I would love to talk more about this path. You can contact me at my email or text and talk. They're on the phone. I want to thank my team members, Linda and Saida, for their invaluable input and ideas on this. They're 2 wonderful, giving, professional women. Thank you. And finally, thank you, Toastmasters International, for considering this path that we have brought to your attention. We need this path. It's time to develop this other end of speechcraft, the recorded speech. Thank you, and bye-bye.